Next, we're going to look at, so everybody's been talking about how Tiffany Henyard, the mayor, if you haven't heard about her yet, mayor who was spending all her county's taxpayers' money, spending it all up, going on trips, bodyguards. But she was finally taken away from her positions. But they brought up that she made $347,000 last year. $347,000 last year. Now we're going to get into this because a lot of people were upset because she wasn't, how they were spending so much money. Their budget was going crazy. But let's jump right into that.
Self-proclaimed super mayor Tiffany Henyard leaves office in the next few weeks after being badly beaten at the ballot box. Questionable spending, clashes with trustees, and an ongoing FBI investigation led to her undoing.
Investigative reporter Ben Bradley broke many of the stories that exposed the issues, and tonight he returns to the south suburbs for a new accounting of Henyard's reign.
I love y'all. There's nothing you can do about it.
The curtain will soon close on the Tiffany Henyard show, but not before one last dance.
Supervisor,
Oh, stop it, man.
Come on now.
Go on, be with
people want to know what's next for
You
you.
know what's next? Why you out here? Why are you out here?
We were there for Henyard's final food giveaway and a new tally of what she's cost taxpayers. On Easter weekend, cars lined up for blocks. Tens of thousands of tax dollars spent for another one of Henyard's famous food giveaways.
Our last hurrah, and I did not vote for that woman, and I never vote and didn't vote for her before. But I'm gonna give me something to eat today.
I ain't never vote for her. I ain't never gonna vote for her. But I'm gonna come up here and give me something to eat today. Yeah. That is crazy. All right, I gotta watch that back a little more.
Of Henyard's famous food giveaways.
Our last hurrah, and I did not vote for that woman, and I never vote and didn't vote for her before. But I'm gonna give me something to eat today.
I like the giveaways, but I don't like her. She's nasty.
You can do all the giveaways you want, but it's not going to change people's opinion of it. The smart people, it's not going to change the smart people's opinion on how you ran the city and on how what you did affected the city. But hey, they're going to come and get the free stuff.
Nasty.
She's giving us back what we already gave, but ain't nobody else doing that either.
Tiffany Henyard does spend a lot of money, some of it on worthwhile programs, but she's also benefited handsomely and questionably. Newly obtained records show last year Henyard was paid more than $347,000 from Dalton and Thornton Township, the two governments she runs. That's more than Chicago's mayor makes.
Now that is crazy. Now what they just said, if y'all followed the story of what's happening with her, she had two different government positions, and those two combined made more than Brandon Johnson. That is crazy. Let's keep going.
Henyard's comp includes $282,000 from the township, which also gave her a $4,900 per month expense allowance and an $1,100 monthly vehicle allowance. That's despite the fact Dalton taxpayers spent six figures on two SUVs police used to chauffeur Henyard.
Trustee Gray Everett, Supervisor Henyard.
And did we mention Henyard hasn't attended a single meeting since she lost re-election?
Why haven't you been to board meetings since your defeat?
And work.
You don't want to answer? You're still getting paid. Why not go to the meetings?
It just proves that what she was doing was very selfish. It wasn't about the people.
Stephanie Wiedemann worked for the township for 20 years and blew the whistle on many of Henyard's antics.
If she would have just said, oh, I made a mistake,
everybody would have moved on. We pointed out the mistakes and she put on the show. You know, everybody paid attention because every 2 weeks it was like a sitcom.
Y'all are black, and y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
You the ones that's costing the village money.
I don't have that call. All right. Okay.
What was she supposed to do? You wanted her to expound? Don't drag out the meeting.
I made a motion.
WGN Investigates has documented first-class trips for Henyard and her entourage that cost taxpayers well over $100,000. There was a stay at a Four Seasons and stay
First class, driving, flying, premium, first class.
dinners. In late 2023, this was how she explained it.
I do not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas?
Now y'all see that, right? Y'all see. Let's rewind a little bit.
You didn't go to Las Vegas?
Look, she trying not to get caught in a lie.
What is that?
No comment.
You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?
No comment. Yeah, you heard
Vegas?
Of course I do.
Were you?
It's not paid by them.
Taxpayers are the ones stuck with the bill. The supervisor and others get unusual perks, including $600.
Not paid by them, but your salary comes from them. And you get a travel expense. And you can write off your plane trip. It just doesn't add up.
$100 a day for every day they travel out of state for the township, and $400 per day for travel within Illinois, plus the cost of their travel expenses. We asked Henyard's successor whether he agrees with the supersized paydays.
What you make is based upon what you are able to deliver. That's more so saying, like, you know, people believe that professional athletes shouldn't get paid millions of dollars, that doctors should be.
Now we have to remember, he's taking over after her. So he's going to get that money now. So yes, how he said it's what they get from that position.
Or teachers for that matter. So I'm not going to get here and go into a debate about what should be getting or what should be this salary of this.
With what we've been through and how easily we saw it is to abuse the system, I think it's important that the residents pay attention and continue to pay attention and continue to hold.
When in doubt, you need to pay attention to your local elections. They deal a lot more with how your money is going at a local's perspective. Because the main thing we deal with federal taxes, of course, but the state taxes, property taxes, all that has to deal with school zone, all that stuff has to deal with your local government. So be out to vote. So you need to make sure you're out to vote for your local elections and not just the presidential one.
Hold people accountable.
Yeah, good time.
Despite it all, the spending, a questionable cancer charity, an ongoing FBI investigation, and even a brawl at a board meeting.
Now, if you were able to see that brawl, that was crazy. But it's always it's crazy.
Henyard still has her supporters.
I think she's doing what men have been doing for years as far as her security and all those things. She needs that.
She give back to the community, so, I mean, what more can people ask for?
And Tiffany Henyard.
You can ask for her to be responsible with the money she's allowed to use.
Henyard vows the show will go on.
You told us on Election Day we haven't heard the last of you. What's next for you?
It's a lot next for me. Stay tuned.
The FBI is still tuned in. Sources say agents have visited several of Henyard's allies at home in recent weeks, looking for information and cooperation. As for the six-figure township supervisor's salary, it was 6 times higher than the leaders of Illinois' other largest townships, but it will be reduced to just over $50,000 per year when the new supervisor takes over in mid-May. Some of the other allowance perks: they'll remain in place. Ben Bradley, WGN Investigates.
Wow. It's crazy to think that the corruption, well, some people say she was corrupt, but we don't know. Well, I don't know if we don't know, but a lot of those things, how she looked when they said something about you. So did you go to Las Vegas? She tried to twist her head. I know I was in Las Vegas, but she's saying that the people didn't pay for it. Crazy. It's crazy. Now, if any more things pop up with Miss Henyard, we will be sure to talk about it. But it seems like everything's going to start winding down now that she has been voted out. And is that the end that we'll see of Henyard? We don't know. We'll see. She might pop up in another election, and we'll cover it and see how people go vote for her. But all right, everybody, remember this is AC Reviews the Word. Remember to like and subscribe.